Hello, welcome back to the Farmyard Garden. If you are new here, my name is Claire. What glorious weather. I've had a lovely weekend away at Goodwood Festival of Speed. I have a new cap for the channel now, and it's just time to crack on in the garden now for the summer season, isn't it? Lots has grown. Things look so much happier because the overnight temperatures are a bit warmer. So I'm starting to finally see movement on the plot. The pumpkins are making a start up the archway. The other pumpkins are really trailing out of the manure store. These beautiful gladiolus here are just starting to bloom. And finally, the French beans have gone from yellow to green. Some of the summer squashes not doing so well, patty pans especially, and the butter bushes. But I do have some more butter bushes to plant out, so I'm going to do that shortly. But the first job and the main job I'm going to do today is tackle this big problem on the plot, which is the sweet corn. It's the one favourite vegetable of Duncan, and honestly I think he thinks it's a conspiracy that the ones out on the main garden are not doing very well. So I've had a bit of a move around. The French beans that were in this bed here that actually have been quite slugged while I've been away have now been moved into the bed behind me, so they're joining the celeriac bed. There was already French beans in there anyway, so they're just sort of put together a little bit closer, which gives me this small amount of space here to put a second catch crop of sweet corn in, just to see if we can get Duncan that sweet corn that he genuinely does deserve for putting up with me by the end of the season. So let's go ahead and get those planted now. Just adding the chicken manure and giving it a little bit of a mix in. Now, if you remember when I put these French beans in here, which was not that long ago, I also put chicken manure in it then after the broad beans had come out. So I don't suppose it needs too much added fertiliser. The French beans can't have used much of it. But I know that sweet corn is hungry. I'm not going to leave it just there with the fertiliser. I'm also going to put fish blood and bone into the holes when I plant the sweet corn. This one that I've got this time is Levington's or Livington's. I can't remember which it is now because I've tipped it into my old tub. But this is pelleted form of fish blood and bone. So no more blowing about in the breeze. And it is a breezy day today. I have two varieties of sweet corn. As I say, Ali, look, knee high, well, more than knee high. So hopefully that's a good sign. I'm not going to be able to fit many in this bed, but it's worth a go, isn't it? This variety is called Sweet Nugget. See if I can tease them apart. I guess this is one of the biggest problems. And I'm only going to plant the bigger ones. There's not a lot of root on that though, is there? Fish blood and bone, shove him in. One down. Bit for the horrier part. Another handful of the fish blood and bone. This one's got better roots on it. Come on. We've got to get Duncan some sweet corn. He'll be sulking otherwise. Now I have a bit of a weird shape here, and I know that they should be in a complete grid. So they're going to be a little bit oblongy here with a little few extra here, but I come and shake them anyway. I know how to look to see whether they've been fertilised. So I will be shaking those flowers down on the tassels if we get to that stage. I'm not going to plant this one though. Limited space means only giving the room to those that look more likely to be successful at this point. And then we'll do the second row here. Of course, I can tell that you're all thinking exactly the same as me. Why didn't I do the middle rows first? Because I'm not that clever. These are all the things that we have to eventually figure out for ourselves though, aren't they? I'm going to carry on and get the rest of these planted up now. So I'll do that thing where I speed it up with a little bit of relaxing music, and I'll get back to you when I've finished. There's a weed there. Fish blood and bone. And there we go. The ones I'm planting on this side of the bed are a different variety. So the other side of the bed is called Sweet Nugget, and these ones here are called Sweet Spirit. All watered in now, I'm happy with that. It's not the ideal grid for sweet corn, I'm well aware of that. I will have to help with pollination, but it's pretty windy here. They're already trying to lie flat a little bit now that I've watered them in, so I may have to put some support around here sooner than I thought, just to try and hold them up and stop them from blowing over. But let's just see how they do. Can't do any more than that, can I? It's kind of do or die now for sweet corn. You may remember that I planted out these butter bushes when it was like a golden hour on the farm. It was absolutely glorious evening over here. It was kind of mid to end of May, I believe. And they did absolutely useless because of obviously the cold temperatures that we had. I even had to cloche them back over with the plastic cloches overnight to keep them warm. Now they are starting to come back. There's some really nice, rich green growth underneath. But because I was so concerned that I was going to lose these, I did sow another batch. Not all of them germinated, but I do have a few here. Look at the colour and the leaf difference between them, exactly the same set of seeds. Now obviously they're come back, so I don't need to replace these plants, but because they are such a compact plant anyway, I'm going to plant these three in between these ones and just give me more chance for some little butternut squashes later on in the season. Just going to scrape back a bit of the strulch that I did have in the bed here. I have watered the ground before I'm doing this, just to help them out. Again, I'm going to add some of this fish blood and bone in there. Ooh, nice root on those. Just sort of loosely spread a bit of the strulch around them. Haven't really had slug damage on the butter bushes, funnily enough, but it doesn't hurt to protect them as best I can. I'll put another one here. So many worms in the bed, and I've forgotten my gloves. Again, fish blood and bone. I'm actually going to put a bit more of the soil back before I put this one in, because it's only little, so I don't want the roots to get burnt by that fish blood and bone, but it is down there waiting for them. Job number 2 ticked off. Don't know how well they're going to do. They're quite young plants, but it's giving them more chances. And again, I'm on that theory of do or die now. Get them out, too hot in the greenhouse. It's quite funny really, because as I first started planting out, I was giving things extra room. And as the months have gone on, I'm starting to realise that there's a lot of wasted space within the beds. So being able to cram a few more plants in and fill the space up does kind of make it feel far more productive than it was just a few weeks ago. And on that note, I've got one more thing to plant up in the next bed. And these little pots of joy were given to me by Kerry from Dog on the Plot. So thank you, Kerry. We did a plant swap, you might remember, a few videos ago when we were at the NEC. And these were in a little teeny tiny pot. They've been potted on. And Kerry has planted hers out now, which is a sure sign that I should be getting these planted out too. Now I don't actually have space to plant these anywhere at the moment either, so what I've had to do is move a couple of cosmos. The whole garden is absolutely full of cosmos, so I've just shoved some about a little bit, and I'm going to plant these next to the patty pans in this bed. And hopefully these little pots of joy will look beautiful in a few months' time. The colouring in the leaf of some of them, absolutely stunning. Now I've just prepped this ground here like you've seen me do with the other ones earlier in this video. I've put fish blood and bone, and I have put chicken manure pellets in here ready for these to go in. And it's actually quite ironic really, because when I was first looking for what to plant in this bed way back in early spring, one of the suggestions that I had was actually to plant some amaranthus here. I can't remember who you were now, I'm very sorry, but with the help of Kerry, your suggestion has now come true. Again, these patty pans, whilst I have one just starting to develop here, they're not doing very well, are they? I mean, look how little the leaves are, so I'm not expecting them to spread massively across this space. But I do have some conical supports that I could put over them to kind of help contain the leaves inwards and upwards if need be. Look at that one. That one was potted on before some of the others, hence why its root growth looks a lot more pleasing. Now I really don't like moving plants about once they've been put into their forever home, but sometimes a mixture of poor planning and an opportunity to grow something that you wouldn't normally grow come along, and these things just have to happen. And you know, as long as nothing is killed because of this process, having moved obviously the French beans and now moved the cosmos to plant these in here, it just doesn't matter, does it? I'm really quite looking forward to that crop though. If you're new here, you may have missed the many times that I've come and looked at these straw flowers to show them to you, and had to give them a bit of a stroke just to listen to the noise that they make. I just wanted to show them to you again in this video because some of them are actually fully open now, and they're not just quirky, they are absolutely stunning to look at. So take a look at those. How could you not like these? And again, even when fully open, they are still the texture of straw. Next job is to build what I have in this box here. And I purchased this yesterday when I went to RHS Tatton Flower Show with my sister and niece. We had an absolutely amazing day, wandered around, bought a few plants, a beautiful agapanthus called Twister. My sister bought some plants as well, and obviously I bought what I have in this box. So I'll let you have a look around Tatton Flower Show with us whilst I get building what's in here. Now if you want to guess what I'm going to build here, then go ahead and post a comment below. Let's see what it is. I'll catch you shortly. There you go, I built it. Isn't it cute? Oh, I'm echoing in the plant pot. What do you think? Did you guess right? Now I just need to find somewhere to put it, and I think I've got just the spot right at the end of the archways. I think he'll sit there just nice. And obviously, as if I've been on Blue Peter, have some pots to put in there. I realise this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but for some reason I just saw it, Magpie syndrome again, and I just had to have it. So on that bombshell, I'll catch you next week. Look after yourselves. Bye.